Broadcasting from the Merritt Hall Studios out of Carson City, Nevada. You're listening to Covering the Field with Big Richard Martin, Gator Gates, and Joe the Answer Ellison.
Well, it's Wednesday, the 27th, September 2023, and Miami's still scoring points off of Denver's game. Guys, we're just going to jump right into the NFL. Coming from MXC Studios, Big Richard Martin, Joe the Answer Ellison, Gator Gates. Jumping right into football, guys.
Well, of course we're jumping into football. Is there anything else to jump into? I can't think of anything that's better than the NFL right now. And we have to give it up to our 0-3 teams off the bat. Right? I mean, let's talk about the Broncos.
Yeah.
So I just saw somebody posted on social media, Colorado gets banked by 50 points against Oregon. Broncos give up 70 points to Dallas, to Miami. So they said nothing been this bad since 9/11.
Ooh, that's not good.
That's not good. It's that bad. But you know what? Hey, Djokovic is in camp. And I mean, didn't Denver just win the NBA championship?
Well, yeah.
And then didn't they just 2 years ago win the Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
So don't be so sorry about all you Denver fans. Chill out. We already told you that it was going to be bad this year with Russell Wilson. So
yeah, but when you give up 70 points, 10 offensive touchdowns, a record 726 yards, that's historic. So,
it's historic. But let's talk about historic. Sink or swim, fellas. Who has more touchdowns, the New York Jets or Tyreek Hill?
Ooh, I like Tyreek Hill.
Well, I have to go Tyreek Hill, I guess.
Cornelius? You can't go to your phone.
Tyler Hill.
Yeah. Tyreek, you go to your phone. You can't be cheating on your phone. We need to put this on video so you stop cheating. Yes, of course, Tyreek Hill has 5 touchdowns, and the Jets have 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, let's jump into that Miami game, I guess.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think, 70 points. We have Denver playing Chicago this week in the Toilet Bowl.
That's hard to pick, too.
Very hard to pick. You know why it's hard to pick? There's 3 things you can't predict. One thing, you can't predict fumbles. You can't predict turnovers.
Right.
Analytics won't help you with that. And another thing you can't predict is momentum at home field, especially in college.
I can predict Zach Wilson won't do anything this week again.
Right. And we can predict that Zach Wilson's going to be horrible this week. So those are 3 things we can't.
They picked up Trevor Siemian from the practice squad, and then Kaepernick actually sent a memo, letter, whatever, to the Jets saying, "Hey, I can be available." Of course, they rejected him.
That's collision in the worst case with that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never going to get back in.
Give him a shot, man. Wow.
You have a better chance of a running back to make a $20 million contract. A running back is going to get a $20 million contract before, we have.
That whole Kaepernick thing is a joke.
Kaepernick.
If he could play, somebody would be having him and on a team. He hasn't shown he can play. It's all talk. It's all media stuff.
It's collusion. Rich, you got it.
I don't buy that for a second.
Yeah, of course it is.
He can't play worth a crap.
He's better than Simeon. I'm telling you right now.
He's better than Zach Wilson.
Well,
everybody's better.
He hasn't even played in years, and he's already better than Zach Wilson.
No, his record was horrible his last year in San Francisco, and he can't put any.
Give him a shot, NFL.
Can't put any air under the ball. He's done. Go show us you can play. Yeah. Go up to Canada.
I think
and run all over the field.
See what you can do.
People would be begging for you.
Let's move on, Big Rich. What do you got?
Okay, so the 3 0-3 teams are the Bears, the Broncos. They're playing this week, so there'll only be 2.
Yeah, unless there's Chicago, the home dog.
There could be a tie.
Could be a tie, and then the Minnesota Vikings. Wow.
So I'd take Chicago on that one. +3.
Is Minnesota chances out for the playoffs? 0-3?
I think 0-3. What's your percentages now? It's like 0-3.
They don't know how to win games.
If it was 11% last week.
It was 7%.
Oh, well, okay. Well, let's make it about 5%.
Yeah.
4%.
But they don't know how to win games. They're kind of like Vegas.
I mean, the thing is, they're 0-3, but they're only 2 games out of first.
That's
I know. That's crazy, yeah.
Well, I mean, you have the Packers and Lions playing, so somebody's going to be 2-2, so they can be 1 or 2, just 1 game out of second. So, I think I don't think all is lost for the Broncos or Minnesota, but a lot of those points in that Bronco games were off of defensive scoring. And it wasn't all Russell Wilson's fault. It wasn't
So
all.
you brought up Green Bay. Green Bay play the home dog.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry,
Green Bay's-
Oh, you're going to go to Thursday. You want to talk
Already
about
going
Thursday? Okay, let's go to Thursday.
well, I don't know. I don't like that game. I'm not going to bet that one. So maybe you guys got to.
Well, I love the Lions. They beat them last year with Aaron Rodgers. Why can't you beat them with
Is
Jordan
there
Love?
life after love?
It's their life after Love. I don't know.
Life with Love. I think he's going to be there for another 10 years. He actually looks pretty good to me.
Shit.
We didn't look good the first 3 quarters until
That's why I'm bringing that
Derek
up.
Carr hurt his shoulder. They would have lost that
Exactly.
game. Then it would be a whole different love story.
We'd be talking
Right at
about
the
a
end.
different
It would be a
story.
different love story.
That's
But
exactly right.
It's also New Orleans' defense, which is pretty awesome. All their games have gone under. They're,
No, you're right, Joe. We
They
just
have an
looked that
excellent
up. Yeah.
anyway,
They're the under team.
they are the under team.
Okay.
And that moved up to 41, you
So,
guys.
I mean, my
that
picks
over
last
and
week
under.
were 4-2-1. That's not too bad after I was 2-4. So I'm actually shooting around 500, a little bit above for the season. How are you guys doing on your picks?
I think I went 1-2 last week. I had the over in that Charger game, which is an absolute joke against Minnesota. Those two teams are way too stupid to score, and I'm not going to bet on any of them to win any of their games. I'm not going to bet them. I'm going to go against Las Vegas. They're pretty stupid the way they finished that game. Tampa Bay, they totally quit Monday. I'm done with them. And of course, I'm done with Denver, of course. But yes, Denver does play Chicago this week.
So
Yeah.
someone's got to win the 12th.
Somebody's going to win. The only reason Denver's favored, pretty much, I guess, is Chicago's lost 13 straight games and 8 straight at home. So you got to go with that, I guess.
It's 3.5, so it's like pretty tough. But I think that's definitely my pick. I'm picking Denver over the Bears, and I think
Okay.
me and the producer I will wear a Bears hat if the Broncos win. You will wear a Denver hat if Denver wins.
That's not true.
It not happens.
Oh, you're not going to make the bet.
That's
Just
not true,
because
because the Bears are going to win. I got a money line.
then I will wear the Bears hat next week, and you will wear a Broncos hat if the Broncos win. I think that's fair.
I don't have a Bears hat right now.
Okay, well, no one does. 0-3. Actually, you'll get that on the first pick of the draft. The Bears hat will be on the first pick of the draft when they put it on and say Caleb Williams is going to the Bears.
Oh, I want what's his name from Notre Dame, Sam Hartman, to go to the Bears.
Okay,
That's fun.
we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, can Cornelius, can we roll into the coaching? Ball or U-Haul? Should we get into that? I think you want to touch.
Should get into that. Yep.
I mean, we've talked about ball and U-Haul for the quarterbacks. Can we talk about the coaches?
Right.
Gator, you in?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to give you the first one,
Obviously.
Gator. We're going
Okay.
to give you the lousy Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels. He's
Ow.
17-28, no playoff games. Is he going to ball this year? Or is he going to get the U-Haul this year?
He's going to get the U-Haul, especially in that division.
He's going to get the U-Haul. He's got 2 more losses coming against Kansas City, 2 more against the Chargers.
One win
Well,
against
He needs to
Denver.
be gone.
And he'll be there.
Any guy going for a field goal down 8, with 2.5 minutes left on the 8-yard line, 10-yard line. I mean, what are they going to do? Go all the way down the field again after just going down there and just kicking a field goal? There just wasn't enough time.
Well,
to do
I
that.
mean, they needed
It's
2
stupid.
scores. But, you get a touchdown. You got momentum.
But
You're
even
at
if you
home.
don't make it, you can
But the
still get the 6 and the
decision.
2 and tie it up.
But the decisions.
Well, it sounds like you guys had money on the Raiders. That's what it sounds like. You guys had you wanted the points.
I had the Steelers.
Okay.
No, I was very happy with the
You're
finish,
very
but
happy with stupid Josh.
I just can't believe he did that.
Oh, we have to say this. Oh, my Josh.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Oh, my Josh.
Exactly.
Okay. Going into Bonehead Brandon Stanley. All right. So, okay. Is there a more stupid coaching decision than being on your own 20 up by 4,
24-yard line.
24-yard line? And if you kick it, they have no timeouts. They have to go 70 yards for a touchdown. Almost impossible. But if you give it to them at 24, they have 4 cracks at the end zone.
If
So
he doesn't
Stanley
make-
gone. I mean, but he actually,
If he doesn't go to the playoffs, he's gone.
well, I'd have to agree with
But anyways, he has more.
that. So the
fourth down.
U-Haul is on stall.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not ready.
yeah.
U-Haul is on stall, and he might ball.
He might.
White ball?
He might. But no Mike
No.
Williams.
No.
That's going to hurt.
No.
Yeah, but the receivers, they're very deep. And see,
Well, Keenan Allen averages
Yeah.
like 37 catches a game. it
Yeah,
feels
I
like.
know. Thank you for your fantasy pick on that one. I
Plus
did
an
very well.
Eckler's hurt, but
Fantasy
when you
pick.
talk about the coaching, no, he should have been fired at the end of last
Well,
year.
yeah, exactly.
Blowing that
So if they lost the
Jacksonville
game, would he have got fired in the locker room, on the plane, or when he got back?
Probably.
All
Should have.
all
Should have. I say he should have been.
Well, why not just fire the Minnesota coach too?
Okay, but we'll talk. You talking about Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah,
Yes.
the same game.
In the same game.
Well, Kevin O'Connell's 13-4. Oh my God, he's a guy coach, and he went to the playoffs last year. He had a playoff win. You're going to fire a guy that went to the playoffs?
No way.
Well, I'm not going to fire him, but I'm not going to bet on him the entire rest of the year. I'll tell you that. Freaking 10-yard line, whatever. They throw it down to the 10-yard line. The clock is ticking. They got no timeouts. You can't just signal to your quarterback or yell at him or say something to him. Spike the ball, please. Spike the ball. And the clock runs down to 10 seconds. They throw it and they throw an interception and they lose the game.
Staley should buy his entire defense fruit baskets for bailing him out.
Without a doubt.
Well,
Pure luck.
Yeah, pure luck. Pure luck. They bailed him out, and he still has a job. Good for him. The next on there, let's just talk about Robert Saleh. I mean, who's the Nathaniel Hackett? I mean, is that offense? I mean, he's been horrible as a coach. He's horrible without Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is great, but the coordinator sucks. That's my opinion.
Sean Payton, remember, said he's the worst coach ever. Right? Nathaniel Hackett. But the next thing you know, Sean Payton gave up 70 points. So
which makes him the worst coach. Makes him the worst coach. And now he's the second worst coach ever. All right, next. Are you guys getting? I'm talking about Saleh.
I'm giving him a pass. I think he's still a good coach. He still has a good defense.
Second year.
Just get a new offensive coordinator, but that was Aaron Rodgers that brought in Hackett. So he wanted him. Now you don't have Rodgers. What are you gonna do? Get rid of him now?
I like Saleh.
That's a nice. It's a nice excuse, but I think his issue is backing his quarterback right now.
He has to. What's your choices?
You just find somebody else. You go to
the Wildcat. I mean, you can't go to the Wildcat. I mean, you can't pick up Simeon.
You trade for somebody. You pick somebody up.
You get somebody.
And we already told you pick up Kirk Cousins. He's for sale.
Well,
he might get traded.
Play Trevor Simeon. See what happens. It can't be any.
Well, I've been to many Bronco games with Simeon. I can tell you what's going to happen. The same thing going to happen last week. You're going to lose. Well, same way he lost in Denver. You ain't going to go anywhere.
You got to find somebody else.
You got to find somebody other than that, Zach. Okay, I'll tell you guys this. Sink or swim. Zach Wilson was a captain at BYU.
Oh, jeez.
Sink.
He was the captain.
He's a quarterback. Sink or swim.
He was the captain.
That doesn't mean he's the captain.
I know. So you're sinking.
I'm sinking.
Okay.
I'm swimming.
You're swimming?
I'm swimming, but he was the captain of the debate team. He was not the captain.
There was eight captains, and not one was Zach Wilson on the BYU team, which should tell you right there, if he's not a captain of your team, then you should not pick him the second pick.
I didn't think he was good in college. I thought he just had an easy schedule. His team really bailed him out.
He looked good on film. The way he could throw it across the field like 60, 70 yards. It was pretty impressive.
He's a college quarterback. That's it.
Okay, we're done with that because we can go into verbal. You guys, what do you think about verbal? Is he going to be gone this year?
I think Derrick Henry's going to get traded.
Vrabel? Yeah. Oh no,
Vrabel. I think he's done great. But then again, he lost 7 straight last year. Now he's off to a 1 or 2 stars. So I mean, that's not good for your resume.
A little patience with Vrabel. The defense is still decent. The running game, obviously, if that doesn't work, then the team's in a bit of trouble. But I think it will get going against some of these teams.
Okay.
So I'm gonna swim with Vrabel.
So I love this section with you guys. You guys bring up some good points. I want to give a shout out to Gator, who picked Arizona 2 weeks ago. We didn't say about it last week. You said they might win against Washington. They should have won. No, against the Giants. Giants.
Right.
They should have won against the Giants. And then last week they did beat the Dallas or the Alice Cowboys, because there's no D in Dallas. They're just Alice's.
For that one game, they went from ferocious to not so good in one game.
They beat the 2 New York sucky teams. That's all they've done this year. So we'll see this week.
Yeah, missing those 3
against the linemen. Who do they play this week? Who do the Dallas have?
They get New England.
Okay, so it doesn't get any better.
They're favored by 7.
But you gotta stop beating them.
I'm gonna jump on that right now. I'm taking New England right there.
6.5 now.
It's 6.5. You should have jumped on 7. I got it at 7. But at 6.5 is still fine, I think.
Yeah. I will say Arizona is 7-1 against Dallas in their last state. For some bizarre reason, Dallas can't beat Arizona. It's just one of those flukish things. You can't explain why or how. They just happen.
Well, thank you, Big Rich.
Okay, good.
Nice.
I know you got the Bears head coach in there too, right?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah, we already know. You all's already there. I mean, what are you doing? Why do we bring it up?
You all him, the GM, our quarterback. Let's go. All new.
Take them all.
Yep. Just take them all. Package them up.
Your game, get Caleb Williams. You can't go wrong with that pick.
I like Caleb Williams. Just Sam Hartman. Either one of those guys.
All right, we're gonna get into that a little bit later. But okay, so let's talk about that's our picks. I'm taking New England. I'm gonna get +7. I like who else is the other? I like Denver. I know Cornelius is on board with me on this one. I love the Bengals minus 2.5. The Jags.
Love the Bengals. That's one of mine. Absolutely.
I'm taking Denver. I'm giving 3.5. And then I'm just going to roll the Miami game against Buffalo. What's the spread of them? I love Miami.
Buffalo minus 2.5, and I like Buffalo at home.
I'm going against you on that.
Right.
I love that offense.
And then
you're getting 70-point team plus points. Is that what I'm getting? I get Miami, I get score 70, and I get more points, right? So, I mean, they can't have enough points.
Also, I like the Jags minus 3 at home.
You just said you like Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's not playing them. Cincinnati is playing away at the Titans.
Oh, you like Cincinnati. Okay, and Jags are
at home against Falcons. It's a bounce back game for Trevor Lawrence at home.
All right, I'll give you that too. All right, I like the Jags.
Minus 3.
That's my picks for next week. You guys have any NFL picks?
Well, this Denver-Chicago game, I'm going to pick it, but I'm not going to pick a side. I'm going to pick the over. Chicago 3-0 over this year. If you go back to last year, 11-3.
46
in their last
over.
14 over.
46.
I mean,
number.
Denver just gave up 70 for heaven's sakes.
Yeah, that wasn't all. It was 2 defensive scores.
There were all.
There's only really 54.
All 10 offensive scores. A couple defensive plays led to the scores.
Right.
But I mean, they had to still punch it in.
They're the what do they say? The best team on turf. They're the best team on earth right now. That's the best offense on earth anyway. I'll give them that. So
I like that one. Tampa Bay and New Orleans, I like under. I believe it moved to 40.5.
It is.
Yeah. Saints have gone under in 9 straight games. So if
Take
you go
the
back
Saints
to
at
last year, I mean,
Big Rich, here's my last one too.
Okay.
I like Minnesota minus 4 on the road at Carolina. Bounce back game for Kirk Cousins. They get a W.
That's a good one.
minus 4 on the road.
okay.
Yeah.
We have to see the quarterback, and then for me, I have to always take Kansas City, but I have to look and see if Taylor Swift's going to be there because I definitely picked. I made my pick. I know, right? I picked Taylor Swift as soon as she was in the stands. I changed my bet and I took Kansas City because I think Taylor Swift's worth 3.5 points. So if she's going to be in New York, you drop the 6.5. It's 9.5. She's worth it, every bit of it.
Pardon us, audience. No more Taylor Swift talk.
Okay,
I'm just proud to say, if she walked right past me right now, I wouldn't even know
No
what
more
she
Taylor
looks like.
Swift talk.
what she's wearing a Travis Kelce jersey.
That might be a clue.
Okay, so her next song is going to be 87 got 86. That's all I'm going to say.
I got 86. Oh, man.
87 got 86. That's what I'm going to say. You know, it's going to be
Just gave
next
me
song.
editing. Now I got to take out the full check.
You're not taking down none of this beautiful stuff. You can't.
Let's move on though. We're at what do we got next?
Well, I'd like to give my other pick. Seattle plus 1.5 at the New York Giants. The Giants have lost 7 straight Monday Night Football games. Daniel Jones record primetime games 1-11.
Somebody got a Saquon Barkley
You put the
health update.
He's going to be out for like at least
yeah.
Well, you had high
He
ankle
did look
sprain.
good for him.
He said he might play last, but he's Superman.
Yeah, 3 weeks on.
So good NFL.
You want my picks?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll go through them quickly. Green Bay dog at home.
Okay, wait a minute. I want to know who they're playing. You can't.
Oh, they're playing.
What are the points?
Yeah, Green Bay. Well, they're
You like the
plus
plus 1.5. Okay.
But I like Green Bay
Detroit.
to win straight out.
Okay.
All right, I got a Saquon Barkley update real quick, Gator.
Yeah.
He says he will play on Sunday or on Monday.
Really?
He'll play week 4. That's what he's claiming. He hasn't actually been okayed by the doctors.
Yeah, take that as a grain
Getting
of
stem
salt.
cell research on his knee, on his ankle. So
It sounded like he could return, and as the week goes on,
I
it
think
looks
he
like he will.
who else you got there, Gator?
Okay. Well, same reason I like Chicago dog at home, but not to win the game.
Plus 3.5
plus
over Denver.
3.5.
Okay.
That's correct. Cleveland plus minus 2.5.
And who are they playing?
I think they will beat Baltimore at home.
Okay,
I like
yeah,
it.
Cleveland has been playing good.
And one more, just like Joe was talking about Tampa Bay. I had Tampa Bay the over and under at 39.5, and it's already moved up to 41. That's crazy. So I like the under, and I also like New Orleans minus 3.
Who are they playing?
You might get a push on that.
New Orleans
Tampa
playing
Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Bay.
Okay.
Buccaneers and Saints back down to 40.5.
Down
Yeah.
to 40.
Yeah, take the under all the way.
Still, I'll
The
take
Saints
under.
and unders.
It still might go
is the
over.
golden
It might
ticket.
go
You can
back
get
up.
on Willy Wonka's chocolate factory with that golden
It
ticket
might
right
go
there.
back
Yeah.
up.
Derek Carr's out. You got Jameis.
Oh, he's
Winston
out.
in.
He's out for sure.
Yeah.
Shoulder.
He's out.
Okay.
So
So that's why he's question.
Jameis Winston's
That
your
helps.
guy.
Mhm.
Okay, but the defense doesn't need Derek Carr. But
Mm-mm.
you're right. Good job.
Okay.
Gator.
Okay.
Perfect
Excellent.
stuff.
All
Thank
right.
you.
We're going to move on to some college football now because there were some exciting games, and there's going to be some exciting matchups coming up. One game I'm quickly going to just run down real fast, guys. Oregon took it all out on Colorado. Covered up 21. Loved that game. And now Colorado has to go and face USC, but in Boulder. So
it's going to be tough for USC.
USC's defense is horrible, so we know that.
USC's defense, there is no defense.
Yeah, the books like that number, huh? That 21 on Colorado.
Right.
We sure like that.
This one's 21.5 now.
Yep.
And the over-under, I believe, is 71.5.
That's crazy, too.
Well, we have to get into the NCAA, don't you think, fellas? Okay, we talked a little bit about Colorado. Their spanking they took. Did you see that Oregon coach? Did you see his speech before the game?
Big time speech. Loved it.
I hated it because it was scripted. How many times
scripted?
He stood in front of the mirror for 3 hours practicing that speech, and I just think it was like it should be a little 4-letter words in there sometimes if it's from your heart instead of having it scripted on the screen. Whatever. Okay, you know,
cameras in there.
Yeah, exactly. So, is that how many times did it like, hey, can we do it again? Did you hear anybody from Oregon go, yeah? I didn't hear anything.
Even Jim Valvano scripted his speeches. Come on, man. All the coaches scripted their speeches.
I loved it. It fired them up. They
okay,
no
wins and clicks. Come on.
No one was talking about Oregon this entire week. Everybody was talking about Colorado, all these Dion commercials. No one's giving any love to Oregon.
It was 21 points. The spread did the talking. Everybody knew that Oregon was going to put a beat down on the Buffs.
I think a lot of people took Colorado. And those
I'm one of them. I did. I went 2 weeks in a row on them. I couldn't. God, I go over. I drank the Kool-Aid. But I'm staying off this one. If I bet anything, I'll bet the over. What's the over on that game? It's probably 71. Yeah, it's probably
73.5 now.
Okay, but the 21 in points is solid. Take the Buffs on 21 points because I guarantee you, USC is going to give up some points. Guaranteed.
And if they gave up 28 to Arizona State.
That was a road game, and there's going to be a lot of people there. What about Travis Hunter saying that he was going to play, and then Deion said, "No, you're not." I think that was a great, shows you the character of Deion. Says, "Hey, I love you more than I love this game." I thought that was a great characteristic of him.
Save him for down the road later in the season and games where they have a lot better chance of winning.
Right.
Sure. So I think it's a smart move.
I think it's a very smart move. They're going to lose, but if they score 21 points, they're going to cover the spread.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
exactly right.
It won't go over, though.
It won't go over. Yeah, you need 100. It'd be first triple-digit over spread ever. So anyway, I don't know. They did play good defense against Stanford, but then we found out Stanford was horrible when they lost to Southern Alabama.
Sacramento State.
Don't
forget that. Don't forget the Hornets.
Okay, don't forget the Hornets. They definitely played better than you would expect Stanford to do. But anyway, they did beat Arizona last week, 21-20. So, or they lost by
they lost by a point.
Yeah, actually, it was closer than most people. So they're pulling together. Okay, but Friday night, let's go to our picks. Friday night has some really good picks. BYU at home -3. They're playing in Provo, Utah. I don't know if you watch these Utah games, but you'll see the momentum right there. There's not been, out of the 4 new teams that came to the Big 12, none of them have a win yet. Cincinnati, UCF, in conference, and BYU. So I'd like BYU to get the first win. I think they're -2.5 at home. So you can get this. Kalani Sadek, the coach, he stated that I know 2 things for sure. We're a great team. And the second thing I know, we haven't played our best game yet. So I think they're going to play their best game. They get their first win in Provo, Utah against Cincinnati. Take that, drop that 2.5.
It's 2 now.
So it's good. I like BYU at home. Slovis plays good. It's just, the turnover out there. They were actually winning at halftime last week. So they played a good game, but I did miss that one on my picks. Picks did go 4-2-1.
Good job. Yeah.
And college, I should have been 5-2 if Notre Dame would have been such boneheads and controlled the clock like they should have, and maybe had 11 guys on the defense. Maybe you could have stopped.
That could be a potential You Got Host story.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Time they had 10 players.
Right. So you can't do that and go play for them. Anyway, the next one, Utah on Friday is +3 at Oregon State. DJ Uiagalelei is a good quarterback, but he got outplayed last week. We told you about Cameron Ward. I told you he had 9 touchdowns and 900 yards, and he just lit up Oregon State last week. But now they're at home, and they have a great stud running back, Damian Martinez. He averages 6.8 yards per carry. They do good. So Utah did hold UCLA to 7.
I'm going to jump on that game as well. I like that game, but not for those reasons. I actually like the over at 44.5. I like that. I think both teams can score.
Well, Cam Rising hasn't even played yet this year. He was their star quarterback last year. They had the ACL injury at the Rose Bowl, or then the championship game. Nate Johnson's the quarterback, and he had some really good things saying about his offense will be better this week. So he put it on social media, took some criticism for his play and said, we're going to play better. I love him. I love him at Oregon State. Like I told you, DJ Uiagalelei, you put a little pressure on him like you did at Clemson. You folded just like you did last week. So I'm taking Utah. I'm going against the Beavers twice.
Okay.
Great.
Utah, that was +3.
You're getting plus three.
+3.
Yeah, +3. Yeah.
All right.
I got a couple Saturday games for you guys.
Oh, is the +2 not moved? You said it moved.
It moved, yeah, +2.
Yeah.
+2 now.
You got it at 3.
I got a couple Saturday games that I'm looking at right now. One of them is going to be Washington -18.5. I like it.
Oh, they're playing. I love that game. They're playing Arizona.
Yep, Arizona. I love it.
Michael Penix has not played 4 quarters yet this year because he has a blowout out. He's not played 1 4-quarter snap this whole season because the game's in hand by the time the 4th quarter rolls around. So, and actually, you get your backup, get some lifetime plays. Yeah,
that's a
good.
fun team to watch. Also, I like another one. This California at home hosting Arizona State. Cal's getting 12.5. I like it.
You're gonna drop 12.5.
Yeah, I like it.
I
think Cal's gonna take care of business.
Okay. You're pretty bullish on the Bears. I'm not liking it too much, but I'm going to go to the very exciting Sun Belt Conference. James Madison -3 against at home against Southern Alabama. Love that pick. James Madison, they did beat Oklahoma. Who did they beat? They beat
South Alabama beat Oklahoma State 33.
And then James Madison beat Illinois, or is it Indiana? They beat Virginia. They beat Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're 4-0.
They're 4-0.
Just like Georgia State.
James Madison was good last year. I love that -3.
Georgia State's 4-0 in that.
Okay. I like Boston College over those sorry Virginia Cavaliers. They can't take care of James Madison. They're not going to be able to take care of Boston College. Thomas Castanelis is their quarterback. He's very run threat. They should have beat Florida State. So I like Boston College in the game. Is it? I think they're in Boston College, correct?
I'll look that up.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure they're in Boston College because they are favored by 3. And
no, Boston's at home.
Yeah, Boston College is at home, and they played very well. Like you said, the momentum factor. You definitely saw that in that Illinois game and Florida State game. Boston College, like I said, Thomas Castanelis, he's a very good mobile quarterback, and he can change the game with his feet. I'm going to take Joe's Oklahoma Sooners over -20 ISU. I might even take the first half. I'll probably be 9.5 in the first half. I definitely like Oklahoma Sooners to blow out the Iowa State Cyclones.
Yep, -20, 48.5 over.
Okay. My other pick, Air Force, -10.5. We were all over Air Force last week. If you saw that game,
I've been riding them 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, if you saw the game last week, they were down by 7 points, and they got the ball with 4 minutes left in the first half. They went down and scored, tied the game up, and then they went down and scored again in the second half. By the time they were winning, by the time offense got the ball again, they were losing by 7 points, and it was 7, and half the third quarter was over, and the defense totally got rested.
Rob, I agree. Big Rich, I agree with you. It's Air Force. I've been riding them all year. Right now, Air Force is -10.5.
Love it.
San Diego State.
And they're 4-0 as well.
They're 4-0, but I just like that team. I've been
Fresno too. Fresno in that division.
So yeah,
Fresno State is also
Conference.
undefeated. Yes, they're 4-0.
and they play Nevada. They're hosting Nevada. Fresno State -24.5 for Nevada.
I'm wearing a Nevada hat. How can I go against them?
Well,
I'm going to go against them. I'm going to take the Bulldogs.
You can. It's easy.
Gotta take that.
Smart money's on the Bulldogs.
Fresno State 44.5. Just got to do it.
And my last pick, Oregon -27. If they could beat the hell out of the Buffaloes that way, they should have probably beaten that lousy Stanford team.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah,
Cardinals.
I like that one too.
I'll drop the 27 against Oregon.
It's still 27 right now.
Excuse me.
All right.
Hard to
What's
argue.
the answer got for us this week?
Oh, I'm mainly in the pros. My college picks weren't so great last week. I'm gonna bet your guys' picks. I like your logic. I'm gonna try some of it.
I think it's hard to argue it.
Did really great last week.
Of course, I'm gonna bet my Sooners. Of course,
That's
an easy one.
That's almost an L word.
I'm going to admit this one, though. I have been going against Alabama all year, and it's been paying off, except for last week.
was paying off for 3 quarters.
Yeah. So that was it. I rode that one as long as I could, and they couldn't pull it out. But I love it.
Well, college football is going to be a great weekend. Tune in on Friday night. That's going to be some really good games. Both those games are going to be really good. I like the BYU game and the Utah game. So the BYU and Utah both play. The Utah teams are playing on Friday night. It's going to be great.
It's going to be fun. All right. Anything else, guys, before we move on?
I think I'm good with.
Well, can we say? Oh, you're done with Notre Dame, right? So we're
well, I want to do that as my You Got Host story.
Well, I'm going to take Notre Dame. I'm going to take Notre Dame this week because I think they would be double-digit favorites if they would have. They should have won. So I think that I didn't have that written down. Oh, I do have it. It's Hartman. I do have it written down here. Hartman.
He didn't have his best game, but he's still in the running.
He still has not thrown an interception. So and he definitely takes care of the ball.
Now Notre Dame is 4-1. They got 4 wins.
Well, they should be 5.
They should be 5.
Bad clock management.
Right. They should be 5-0.
Notre Dame -6 at Duke.
Yeah.
And Duke 4-0.
And so the Duke's quarterback has only thrown 2 touchdowns this year. Mm-hmm. So I think that, they're not going to be as powerful.
Big Rich, I love that -6. Take the Fighting Irish. Love it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Sam Hartman is not, like I said, has not thrown an interception all year.
And he bounces back and has a Heisman type game.
Right.
All right, guys, we're going to go switch over to some NASCAR because I know we're coming down to the wire on that. And Gator, I believe your pick won last week, did it not? Your driver?
Yeah, I picked Chevy. Chevy won, and I picked William Byron, and he won at 8-1. Yeah, thanks.
You're all over the NASCAR.
Well, Bubba Wallace, he actually said it was his worst restart. I don't know. Did you watch that? Big?
I saw, a little bit of it. I saw that he was out in front, and then Ross Chastain even went in front of him too. So Ross Chastain got a second place.
Byron had to go underneath both Bubba.
So where are the standings at? Tell us where the stands are because we only have 2 more weeks until we.
Well, right now Byron's the only one in the round of 8.
Because you win,
you're in.
But if you win the first 4, it doesn't count. You have to win the last.
Yeah, you start over. Yeah, so we only have 1 driver in right now.
Right, and you got.
But we're going to Talladega, and anything can happen at Talladega.
Anybody could wreck.
Okay, but I don't want to jump there first. The biggest thing I want to say about this last race in Texas is that the top 5 finishers were all playoff contenders.
Right.
So. You had Chastain second, like you said, which was a Chevy.
Bell was in the top 5.
But then Bubba Wallace ended up 3rd, so he was the top Toyota, and Christopher Bell was 4th.
So the Toyotas are still running in the top 5.
Right, and then your top 4 was Denny Hamlin was 5th, correct?
Right.
Then your Kevin Harvick was the top 4 and 6.
So when is it a Saturday night? Hopefully it's Saturday night.
No, I think it's Sunday.
It's going to be Sunday.
Yeah,
Talladega can't go against the NFL unless they have Taylor Swift show up.
I don't think they've ever done a Talladega race at night.
I don't think so.
Talladega nights.
Exactly.
Byron's best box. Taylor Swift just showed up.
So who we got here? For a
the Yellowwood 500.
Yeah.
Talladega.
Chevy has won the last 2 races last year at Talladega, and they also won the April race with Kyle Busch. So you think I'm going to take Chevy? No, I'm going to go Toyota.
You always love the Toyotas. You love Truex. Truex is out, right? Is he out of the...
Right, but I like Denny Hamlin in this one. Good. But you're right, exactly.
That's one of my Truex. That's one of my drivers, Gator. I got...
but I like Hamlin. The Toyotas.
Plus 1,400.
Yes.
Kyle Larson's going to win. I'm taking Kyle. I'm going to go with the Chevys. I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'll say Kyle Larson.
Sure. Kyle's had the best car almost every race.
Kyle Larson plus 2,000. I like him also. He's one of my 3. And my last one that I'm going to go with, which is always kind of a long shot, I guess, but Tyler Reddick.
Yeah.
Plus 2,500.
That's not a bad one.
Like
for a long shot.
Yeah. I like that one.
And is he out of the top, or is he
Reddick? I don't think he's in there.
Oh, I thought he was still alive, but I didn't bring that sheet with me.
Yeah.
I think he's still in there.
Because it's football season, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Not NFL.
Well, baseball.
Well, let's talk. Are we done with NASCAR? Are we talking about baseball?
Yeah, let's get into some ball because we only got like 1 week. Less than
158 games are in the books.
Yeah,
we got 5 left.
Games. Yeah.
So
watching the Orioles today, and they took care of business.
Okay, speaking of the Orioles, we have to give Brooks Robinson died this week.
Yes, he did.
So Scoop Robinson, remember Scoop Robinson? So I'm going to give you guys a sink or swim.
Yeah.
Who committed more errors, Brooks Robinson or Derek Jeter.
What is for real?
Uh,
Wow.
And it's within 10.
I'm
Is
just
it
going to
really?
go with Derek Jeter just because I think that's the answer.
I'm going to go with Robinson.
I'm going to go with Robinson because he played 23 years. So, and
He had
Jeter
more
did
chance.
play 23 years.
He had
So
more
I got to go
chance.
Robinson.
Well, it's definitely Brooks Robinson did have more errors. Like you said, he played more years, but if you went for years, he only had 11. He only averaged 11,
Oh,
and Derek Jeter had 12.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So,
I see what you're saying.
so actually, he did commit more because he played longer, but he was, but per year
Great
he was
question.
better. So I'll ask you this next question. I'll give you guys another one.
Mhm.
Brooks Robinson had more Golden Gloves than Derek Jeter and Ozzie Newsom.
Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Wow, that'd be amazing
No,
if that's true. I say
I don't
same.
think so.
I see.
I'm going to say,
I say same.
I'm going to say swim. I'm going to say Brooks
Really?
Robinson. He had 16 gold gloves
Again,
and
he played more years.
knew.
See, yeah,
16 gold.
One more year.
One more
He
year.
had, yeah, exactly. He did have more goals. He had
Correct.
16, and Derek Jeter only had 3.
Is that
Really?
it's
That's
amazing?
it?
Derek Jeter only had
That's amazing.
That
Yeah.
don't make sense.
Yeah, so
So what do we got for baseball?
Trick question.
We're coming
Trick
up to
question.
the end.
Okay, you want hot and cold?
Yeah, please give it to us.
Okay, well, the hottest teams are, believe it or not, Kansas City's 8-2. Arizona, Philly, and San Diego are all 8-2.
Yeah, Philadelphia's won 6 in a row, right?
Yeah.
They seem to be priming for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're right hot at the right time. Baltimore, Toronto, and Minnesota are 7-3. Now our cold list, beloved Oakland, they're on there. Colorado and Boston are 2-8. Houston, Angels, and San Francisco are 3-7. And wrong time for San Francisco to be going the wrong way.
It's over for them.
Is
They
Oakland
have-
even going to make 50 wins? Have they made it yet? I don't know.
I could tell you that, Joe.
That'd be cool.
They're at 48.
48. I'd say they don't make it. Not even 50.
It's
And
only
the
2
Dodgers
more.
are taking care of business in Colorado, 8-2.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
just parlay them every night with Atlanta and
Atlanta Dodgers.
and Milwaukee. Even though Milwaukee's on a little bit of a
Like
skid,
that.
but I definitely parlayed them tonight. So
Yep,
definitely
those are your division winners.
Yep.
Philly just clinched. Arizona looks like they have an 88% chance, according to.
Yes.
They won today 3-0 over White Sox.
Well, let's make it 90% now or 92%.
I think they're in for
yeah.
sure.
Then you got Chicago. They're the last wild card. Miami, this is going into today. I didn't see what happened today. Miami was a half a game back, 1 in the loss column. And Cincy was 1.5 back, and they were 2 in the loss column.
So let's pick out those
Probably
3.
not
We have the Reds, we
Mm-hmm.
have Chicago,
Mhm.
and we have
Miami.
Miami.
So you guys pick one. I'm going to pick Chicago because they have the best run differential.
Mm.
Okay, they have a
Interesting.
better run differential than the other two, so I'm going to take them.
I'm gonna
Arizona's got a minus run differential.
I'm going to take Miami just because Chicago, bad things happen to Chicago, all the curses and everything. And why not just blow this one too? Although, it's not really blowing it. It's a wild card. It's actually a surprise the Cubs are really playing that
If
good.
this helps, Philly's already got it. They're +7 up on.
They're already in.
They
Yeah.
already got that. They already clinched. Arizona's +2, and then you got Marlins that are tied with Cubs, and then
Yeah.
the Reds are 1.5 back from the last
Yeah.
spot.
I wonder how the tiebreakers work. I know it's head to head. So if it came down to
Okay.
Chicago and Miami,
This is why I told you Chicago's run differential is 99. The Marlins are minus 58, and the Reds are minus 45, and the Diamondbacks are minus 4. So that's why I'm picking Chicago.
Okay. I guess we can just say American League, Minnesota is the only team to clinch a division.
Right.
Baltimore, Tampa Bay, they're in. Texas just about in to win the West. And then you got Toronto up by 2. They got a 94% chance of making the playoffs as a wild card. And then Houston and Seattle duking it out behind them for the last spot.
You did have 3 coming out.
What
of
about the
East.
Orioles? Okay, we got to talk about the Orioles. They won their division after being 2 years ago having 100 losses.
Amazing.
There's only 3
huh?
other teams that's done that, and
Amazing.
one is the 69 Mets, and the other one was your beloved Giants. So I don't know what the third team.
No, that's amazing.
So that's very impressive, being 100 losses and
Turn
coming.
it
You're
around
telling
like
me
that.
the A's 2 years they'll be in, making the playoffs in Las Vegas.
Well, at the moment,
Mhm.
there are no
I don't know
playoff
about that.
matchups are set. with 4 or 5 days to go.
Right.
I don't know if you guys want to make a
5 to go.
World Series prediction.
We'll get into that next
Yeah,
week.
we have to do it next
Let
week.
me get everybody in.
All right, Big Joe, what do you got
Yeah.
for more baseball stuff here?
Well, the playoffs are going to start before our next show, I'm thinking. So just a couple of little tidbits.
So that'll be Tuesday?
Yes.
Tuesday.
Okay. No NL or AL Central team has reached a league championship series since 2016. So just figure they're going to lose. They're not going to make it even out of the first
Even if they
round.
have two, they might have the Chicago Cubs and Milwaukee.
They
That'd be
could
two.
Mm-hmm.
So
Uh-huh.
they have twice as many chances.
twice a chance and probably ain't going to make it. And,
Yeah, they're right.
Minnesota doesn't reach the championship series, and they usually get swept. They don't even win a game. They haven't won a game in years that they've been in the
Okay.
playoffs. So,
Right.
so bet against the
Just the
Central
That's Kirby
teams.
Puckett.
I think Atlanta against.
Was that the last time they won a
Atlanta.
playoff game? Was Kirby Puckett?
I'm going to have to look back to see how it's been too long for me to remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, World Series prediction. Just go for the obvious. Don't mess around. Take Atlanta and Baltimore. Take Atlanta to win it over Baltimore. Those are the two best teams, the two most consistent teams.
Have you bumped your Baltimore head?
I don't know.
I don't think Baltimore is going to get it. I love Tampa Bay. I love
Okay.
Tampa Bay. I love
He's going to have the harder road as a wild card.
like the Mariners. Kirby
It's gonna be
pitched good
fun.
yesterday. I hit him on my
Yeah,
parlay up.
Mariners might not get in either.
I've got Phillies against Tampa Bay in the World Series, and Phillies pulling out another one. I think just they got hot at the end. 'Cause I'm
At
not,
the right time. You're exactly right.
I'm not, I know Braves is the obvious one. You can also throw Dodgers in there. That's an obvious one because they both have.
But you're going for the upset.
Yeah, but I like Phillies, and I would love to pick Baltimore because I love that team. But I just think Tampa.
You can't
Bay.
tell me three players on that team.
Let's see. You got Grady Anderson.
That's one.
Cal Ripken Jr.
I watch them all the time. I can't remember their name. You got Stand. He hits number 3.
Sure.
Standard, something like that.
Okay. All right. So we already swum. We're swimming that our producer can't pick 3 players that he loves them and they're going to win the World Series. Well, I don't know.
I got Tampa Bay, and
I like
I got
Tampa Bay.
Phillies. I just think Tampa Bay is a much stronger team, and they've been there before. Baltimore's just going to be excited just to
Be
be in the
there.
playoffs.
Sure.
Mhm.
Understandable.
Okay. I kind of stole that pick from Rockin' Ronnie McKinnon. I kind of talked to him for a little bit, and he kind of convinced me to go that route. He's been watching the baseball very closely.
Sure,
I
of course.
appreciate his stats. Oh, I want to thank Butch the Butcher Roberts too.
Absolutely. He's all
for
over
the
it.
NFL stats he gave me too while I'm doing that.
Keep chopping them up, Butcher.
There you go. So there's always more. Did you know that we have a great weekend of golf coming up?
Yeah.
The Ryder Cup.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about that, Joe?
It's
USA's favorite.
I know that
Minus 110.
other than the Masters, the Ryder Cup's my favorite golf to watch. So I'm very much looking forward to this. It's in Italy. Europe has won 9 of the last 13 Ryder Cups. They've won on home soil every time since 1993. How can you not take Europe? U.S. is always favored. Why? I don't know. In Europe,
Because
they're always favored anyway.
we're betting with our heart, not our head.
Right. So big money on Europe. I got a little hosed on the Solheim Cup last week in Spain.
Yeah.
It ended in a tie.
Yeah.
And I bet them to win the cup
Right, of course.
in a tie. If I had bet just to lift the trophy, I would have
But
won.
in, yeah.
The tie was 13-1.
That is
Should've-
what's crazy about this. And I don't think a lot of bettors realize that even when they're betting them.
Right. That you could end in a tie. And
Right. Well,
Yeah.
what you just said, you can lift the trophy or,
it had never before ended in a tie. So
well, but
it's
yeah.
very hard to predict. But we're going with Europe. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be intense.
It's kind of like soccer.
It's going to be wild. I love it. I guess a couple of final bulletins there. I guess Damian Lillard got traded from Portland to Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it happened in a three-team trade with the Suns also involved.
Ooh.
And they also re-signed Milwaukee also re-signed Brooke Lopez, Chris Middleton. True Holiday is now gone.
Hmm.
He is now in Portland.
and he will be traded again soon
Yeah, he'll
because
be
he is not going to stay in Portland.
No.
Wow. So you look those odds for the Bucks.
They went down quite a bit immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, they had the best record in basketball last year.
You have
They
John
lost to
yeah.
Miami in the first round. So this is no fluky kind of team. This team is
Built.
legitimate.
Yeah,
They're not fluky. They're not fluky.
No. Oh,
Not the Bucks.
and Gator,
Yeah.
I have to tell you, the Australian Rules Football Grand Final, the
Yeah,
Super
come
Bowl,
on up. Yeah.
this Friday, 9:30.
You guys got to watch
West Coast
it, man.
time.
You gotta watch
Fox
it.
Sports 1. It's the Super
Hey, I'll watch the Hallmark Channel before I watch that. That's just me. I'm just telling you. I'm not watching
that on Sunday.
If you like football,
Friday
if you like,
at 9:30.
if you like
At night.
football, I don't see why you would not like.
It's like watching the Super Bowl. Seriously.
If you like football, I
Very
don't
much
see why you
Taylor
would
Swift.
not like Australian rules. It's excellent.
Yeah, well, I'll be watching more of the Ryder Cup and that than I will be college football
Amen.
on Saturday.
Same with me, Joe. Same.
Sorry, just tell you guys.
Wait to college football and
And
NFL.
baseball combined, probably.
Oh, let's get to the You Got Hosed because
Okay.
we can't talk about this.
You got hosed.
I'm going to start off the You Got Hosed by every fan that's the Chicago Bears and the city of Chicago. We're all getting hosed
There's a lot of teams
On a regular basis.
constantly for
Yeah.
13 weeks straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Caleb
lot of
Williams.
teams- a lot of
Can
teams
we
like
get your
that,
hat
though.
size so we get your Bears hat there, Caleb Williams? I don't know. I had You Got Hosed. I had Notre Dame. I was already cashing my ticket in when we had the ball with 4 minutes left. What was it? A 3-point? It was a 2. What was the lead? It was.
Oh, man, we both have the same email.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm telling you. Why don't you finish it because I can't take any more hosing.
Well,
Okay.
well, Notre Dame was losing by 4 points. They're getting 3. They're getting 3 points with 3 seconds left. Right. Ohio State's on the Fighting Irish 1 yard line. The Buckeyes score a touchdown to win the game 16-14. There's no time left on the clock,
All right, 1 second.
or so people thought.
Right,
They review it and put a second back on the clock.
because I would have won.
Yeah,
It was 2 points.
because they weren't going to go for the 2-point
They weren't.
conversion
They
or
should
nothing.
never.
They were going to go
Okay, but if you're up by 1 and okay, so what was the score?
16-14.
Okay, it was 15-14. 1 or 2 points doesn't matter.
Well, the final score was 17-14.
That was a tie, but it was
Yeah.
at the time it was
16
2 points, and I had 2.5.
Right.
Well, I had 3, so I should have won.
Sure.
So the thing is, why would you not go? Why wouldn't you just kneel on the ball?
Sure.
So because if they blocked the kick, 2
They
points,
returned
you
it for a
could
touchdown.
It would be
Or
2 points. They
Two-point
could've lost.
conversion. Quite true, sir.
Mm.
So
That's one of the points to make about that. And another thing, I didn't think you could run a play that only lasts 2 seconds, but I guess you can.
Wow.
because there's
They
only
just
10
did it.
players on it. There were only
Yeah.
10 players on it.
Yeah, they only had 10 men on the last 2 plays of the game instead of 11.
Then they call timeout. Then they
Yeah.
call timeout right before that play. Then you had the wrong personnel. At least count them up there. Come on.
Yeah.
They should have took a penalty if they knew they had 10, right?
Yeah, that's what he's saying now. They're going to have the signal, jump offside. We only have 10 guys on the field.
Right, because it only went up a couple inches.
Hindsight's 2020
Yeah,
on
they were
that.
on the 1.
Yeah.
But it never should have been down that far.
But anyway, if you had Notre Dame plus 3, you pushed, but you should have won.
Should have won.
You definitely got hosed.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure about my story, if it's a host story or not. And Mr. Unlucky, which I've used his name a few times on the show, he thinks he got hosed. So what I want to do is propose to you guys, and I want you guys to write in and tell me why this is a host story or why it's not a host story, okay? So anyways, Mr.
To
Unlucky,
hose or not to hose?
yeah, Mr. Unlucky had 5 straight bets on Saturday on college football. All 5 of them pushed. Army, the total in the Florida
Yeah.
Clemson,
You had Syracuse.
Cincinnati,
Push.
Notre Dame, and what you guys are talking about, and Appalachian State. Now, did he get hosed?
Well, he didn't lose.
If he, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he got lucky to get a push. Maybe he got unlucky to get a push. He got unlucky again.
Well,
Now, Mr. Unlucky told me that he got hosed because he had to come down, make the bet at the book,
Oh, yeah.
had to go home, watch the games, come back down, cash in his tickets to
You
get his money back.
But if
So
you
you're
won
telling
one of
me,
those
I
games,
don't know. In my eyes, it's not a host story.
It's not. If you push, you did better than losing.
you can still bet next week. Bet same money.
he got
There you
some,
go.
he got some points on his card for making
There
his
you
bet.
go.
There you go.
You got hosed.
You got
All right.
something
Well,
out of it.
great show, guys, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
Really good.
Really good information out here. Make sure to take these picks because, like you said, you're a professional bettor if you're over 57%, and we definitely are on this show. We're here just to give you a better to make a more logical bet on your stuff. We can't guarantee our bets, of course, but we can give you a more logical and educational pick for your pick. And you enjoy the game and make some money.
Right on. Let's do it.
You've been listening to Covering the Field. Email us at coveringthefield@gmail.com for all your comments or questions. Find us on Twitter @CoveringField. And of course, always check out the website for our picks of the week and updated articles. Coveringthefield.com.